everybody, and welcome to a Pretty Little Podcast. I'm Allie, Violet Vixen Commissaro, and my brilliant and beautiful co-host, Jessie.
Hi, guys. Welcome back to another episode. We're excited to be here.
We have a great show in store for everyone tonight. Introducing Magg Dylan, a powerful force in the world of alternative rock. Known for their raw energy, emotion-filled lyrics, and captivating performances, hailing from an electrifying fusion of rock, metal, and punk pop influence, Magg Dylan has emerged as a rising star, pushing boundaries and igniting stages with their unique sound. Please welcome Magg Dylan.
Hello. That was like such a nice intro.
He's the best.
We try. Isn't it funny when you try to do it? Took me forever to learn how to do the point on.
I know. I'm like, which way are you?
Yeah, the random point.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to look at the TV.
I'm over here.
Right.
So how are you guys doing tonight?
We are awesome. How are you?
Ring my camera.
Great.
Straight ahead. Okay. Yep, straight ahead.
We're having a good night.
Hoping the storm doesn't knock us out, but
yeah,
as of right now, we're good.
Same.
So I'm going to give you guys a second to kind of go around, introduce yourself, and kind of say what your role is to the band.
I'll start because I feel like I'm first. I'm first in the circle. I'm closest. I'm Suzanne. I'm the vocalist for Magg Dylan. And we started the band in 2018. I guess that's the short. I write the lyrics and most of the melodies.
Oh, we'll get into all that.
I'll pass to somebody.
we're doing pop.
Just like chili. Just like chili. Is there anywhere else we go?
Chili. I'll let all the women go first. All right, so I play the fat strings. I'm the bass player. I keep the low end down and try to keep you guys in time. Yeah, all right, you go ahead. Who's this guy?
I'm Brucifer. I've been in the band since the beginning. I'm right.
And I believe you just had a birthday lately.
I did. I don't want to say how old I turned, but I did have a birthday.
Happy belated birthday.
Belated.
I turned 16, I think.
Yeah.
I think in memory years, I'm like 5. I'm 5 years old. I write and produce a lot of the music, and that's who I am.
I'm Adam, and I'm the drummer, and I joined actually in 2020.
Nice. Now, I had the pleasure of seeing you live, and you guys were just incredible. Can you tell us a little bit about the origin of Magg Dylan and how the band came together?
You want to do it or you want me to do it?
Yeah, I would go
We've never
ahead.
done orgies.
Go.
We've never done orgies.
I've never had
Origin.
Origin. Go ahead.
Origin, not orgy.
I'll let y'all handle that one.
Hey.
Hashtag perverts.
Oh my God. Me and Bruce met at an open mic. We were actually just talking about this. I was doing an open mic with my friend Diamond, and we would do we covered Apocalyptica, like I'm Not Jesus and Moth and stuff. And Bruce was actually working at the place that we were doing the open mic. And then we kind of just started talking, and we were both in different bands at the time. And I wanted my band to be a little bit heavier than it was.
Mm-hmm.
And he said he would write a song for me. And then we started writing. And then that was it. We just never stopped. And then we formed Magg Dylan.
That's about right. That's the story.
That's her perspective.
That's
her
my perspective.
What's your perspective of that night?
Yeah, exactly.
I heard her singing "What's Up"
By Four Non
by
Blondes.
Blondes, and I was like,
Oh, I love that song.
Right? Isn't that a great 90s song?
And
You were in the kitchen at that?
yeah. Most of the bands I've been in the last 10 years have been female fronted. I heard her voice and I was like, all right.
You were like, that's the one.
That's, well,
Yeah.
that's kind of how it went down. There's a really long story behind it. We're not going to get there. There's a good story there.
We're not going to tell it.
Yeah, we cannot.
But we're not going to tell it. We're just going to tease you with it, but we're not going to tell
If I
it.
ever see you in person, if I see you in person and you're in my view, I can tell you. There's a lot of people that would be involved, and if they heard the interview and went, "Oh my God, that's not how it happened," I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, next time you're at Love Drafts,
Yes, exactly.
Jesse, you're going with.
I am. I'll be
Yes.
there.
So fun. So we got to know, what's the story behind the name Magg Dylan?
Oh, so I love Mary Magdalene. Okay, so she is like one of my favorite, I guess saints. And we were just kind of kicking names around, and the drummer that we had back then that had started with us, he was like, "What about Matt Dylan?" And then we were like, "Oh, Magg Dylan," and it just became Magg Dylan, and we were like, "That's it, that's the name." And then we had to figure out how to spell it. So we went through all these different. We didn't want to spell it like Magdalene because then it was just gonna, it was me and three guys, and it's not just me, and I didn't want people to think my name was Magdalene or Mag or whatever, even though they still do. It's okay. But so that's when we decided to split it up to make it kind of, because we're a bunch of outsiders. So we always felt like outsiders. Oh, she's sassy. Come here, sassy girl. Sorry.
And I do have my hat.
I'm always
I
keeping
do
tabs
have my
on
Magg
clients.
Dylan hat, but my
Oh,
hair's a
look at
little
that.
Nice.
too big right now to like really sport it. It's going to keep
What
going.
made the name stick though was the fact that there are a lot of bands you hear like Autumn to Ashes, Ashes of the New. There's so many variants that you hear. A War Within, From Within. A War We Wage, stuff like that. No one is going to have Magg Dylan.
Yeah, it totally
Nobody thought of that name.
sticks out.
It stuck out, and the way
Yeah.
it's written, and nobody will have anything that'll even remotely be like that. So I was like, yeah, let's just stay with that. That's good. So that was my reason.
So how would you guys describe your sound and style?
We don't know how to describe our sound and style because there's such a blend of everything. We just kind of fuse everything together, and we're so emotionally driven. So we're kind of, I almost feel like we're like kind of like a Korn meets Britney Spears. That I've literally heard somebody say that, or somebody said it's like Wednesday Addams. Fluffy, it's like Wednesday Addams fronting Lamb of God. That's what one of the guitar players of Ace Frehley said. He's like, it's like Wednesday Addams fronting Lamb of God. So that we thought that was funny. But
Speaking of which, who are some of your like major like influences that kind of have shaped some of the sounds of the band?
so for me, one of my biggest influences is Stevie Nicks. And I will drop something that everyone will hear first on your podcast is we are going to be releasing a cover of Stevie Nicks' Stand Back on July 7th. So, that's exciting. We haven't released that information at all. And it's just funny that you ask who are our influences. So Stevie Nicks is a huge influence of mine, and Fleetwood Mac. She was like one of the first people. And I also love the Carpenters. That's why we play that Carpenters song at our intro. Because to me, Karen Carpenter is such a beautiful singer and a great voice. And Alanis. So Jagged Little Pill is an album that changed my life. And then on the other end of the spectrum, some of the metal bands that I always loved and listened to were like AC/DC, some of the older stuff, Metallica, of course, Iron Maiden, Motley Crue. So those are all the different things that we almost, and then of course, Pat Benatar. And these are all these different things that we've, for me, fused through. And I also love Paramore and Taylor Swift. And so you always, you put all those things together and then you wind up with my vocal style.
And I was into like Finch and, 90s rock, late 90s. I love Fall Out Boy, Failure. I had an old band that I was in for.
I'm going to see Fall Out Boy this summer.
It's great, man.
Super excited.
I was in the band for like 10 years, 8 years, something like that. And it went, but then it stopped. So I had a lot of stuff going on, and a lot of the music got halfway written. And there was a lot of original riffs. So I just kind of carried them over into each decade as I was writing. And then all these newer bands came out, like Wage War, I Prevail, Bring Me the Horizon's been around for a long time. But
That's who's playing with Fallout Boy.
yeah, so those bands were highly influential on my newer style of writing. Most of the new gent, anything that's gent, I love it. Like it has been, because I've been playing 7-string since Korn, and I couldn't really figure out a way to incorporate it over all the years. They were using it a certain way, another band would use it. And then if you know anything about gent, it's single chord progression. So it's like just single noting played in chords in like a certain structure. I love it. I can't get enough of it. And I haven't even toppled what I'm going to do with that instrument yet. Like haven't even gotten close. So, and then we got new music that we have still coming out. We have a lot of stuff that each time we write a song, it just gets better and better and better and better as the years go.
You guys definitely just took it to a whole new level. Like even the pictures, like your pictures are just fire. Like
I love the music videos.
Thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate that. I love that.
Left. You're in.
Now are you guys, do you guys have like creative behind like your music videos?
Okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, so it just depends on who has the idea. Sometimes it's his idea, sometimes it's my idea. I always want the dog involved.
But as far as videos go, we're spending a lot of money on them. But I got a new iPhone and I got a couple friends, and we just started learning how to edit shit ourselves instead of having to pay for all that money. I mean, it is so much money to make a music video for so little return.
You guys are so good live that seriously, like my live on Facebook during your concert, they were pretty legit.
Oh, that's
little
awesome.
bit of tweaking, like with lighting and everything. You've got some pieces to a video.
Yeah, we really need to do that. Like that's next is the stage. I mean, because right now we're still at the fact we're opening. So we never have time to really do anything unless we're headlining and have time to actually tweak the stage and the lighting and all that and get it ready. We don't have that yet. But I mean, it's going to happen. We have to bide our time and make sure that it happens right, because the more stuff you add, the harder it is. You know what I'm saying? The more stuff you got going on stage, the more people you have to involve. You
guys have a tour coming up.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, we are headed to Detroit first. That's where. So we're doing this Fem Fest, and we're playing Rock Fest, and we have Summer Bash in Indiana, and then we have a date up in Saginaw, Michigan at the Vault. We're playing that Saturday. I think it's July 8th. I'm not really good at knowing the exact dates. And then we're in Chicago. They should be somewhere.
No, they're actually on the bottom.
July 17th, I know you're
playing. There they are. Yay.
We're joining the Soap Girls in Madison, Wisconsin. That one just got added just a couple weeks ago, and right before Rock Fest. And then Jefferson, Indiana, a place called Losers 812 the day before Summer Bash, and then we end up in Summer Bash, Indiana, which is their 10th annual Summer Bash. We contacted them last year about getting on their last year's one. They were like, we looked at your stuff. We want you next year. So it was already in the books last year. It was just basically going through the process of their whole booking thing. And they were like, yeah, you guys are on the main stage already, blah, blah, blah. You guys are playing right in like perfect time slot, 4:00 in the afternoon. So everybody will be catching you before it gets into the later ones. And I mean, we're playing with some pretty big names. It's like we like to do our research when we look at who we're going into, it's like, just kind of expect is like, okay, cool. It's going to be a really good show. Some of these bands are popping 30,000 listeners on Spotify, 40, 50,000 listeners. We're like, oh, we didn't even know who these bands were. So then we kind of added them to our playlist also just to kind of help, support them as well as them.
It's nice because you guys can kind of fit in with quite a few different genres.
Right.
Yeah, it's fun. It's really, really, really fun. So that's exciting. And then, of course, this Saturday, coming up on June 17th, we have the show with Nailbite, the Backwoods Metal Fest, down in Barker, North Carolina, at McCorney's Auditorium. I keep saying auditorium, but it's auditorium. It's just because of my East Coast accent. But I guess there's like a freak show. I can't wait to see that.
There we go. There's the flyer.
There's a haunted house on property.
Yeah, I know. So that's gonna be super cool.
Freaking weird, man.
And it's on the way to the Outer Banks, so it's like perfect. Like if anybody wants to go on vacation, you just kind of on your way down, so you don't have to sit in the traffic. You just
and you went over that really quickly. Let's go back to everybody. There is a haunted house on premises.
And it's not even
What?
It's not even October.
You walk in that
pretty
thing
freaky.
and it smells like it's crazy. Like you just have to go in it yourself.
Just a whole house full of oddity stuff.
But it's just creepy. Once you go upstairs,
Really
though,
You can feel it.
Like
Oh,
George
yeah.
Eyeballs and
Jesse loves haunted houses.
I love a good haunted house. I try to convince the people in my life. I'm like, let's play Ghost Adventures. Get me a flashlight. Walk around in the woods. Like, are there any spirits here tonight? Like,
Oh, absolutely.
yeah, that's
Love
that's
watching some of
what
those shows too, and the things that they encounter.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you'll definitely like that house if you go inside of it, though. Like it's got that whole thing going on. She didn't go in
Show you
it.
some pictures.
She wouldn't even go in the damn thing. She said,
No, I was afraid.
Oh, not doing it.
Oh yeah, you guys got to get some cool pictures
We
inside.
would love to see them.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, no, that'll be awesome.
It's a very old area where it's at too. I mean, it's very
Now, you guys said that you do your research. Do you also do your research on like other things in the area, like when you're not performing, that you can kind of like visit and like do the tourist thing and like.
But you can answer that one.
Can I answer it? I always have like a zillion things I want to do, and we do none of them.
Okay. I understand. I've been there. Yeah.
Like,
I'm the idea girl. Nobody wants to dress up in like, outfits and go hunt, like play in the woods with me. I get it.
no, and then and it's always like, let's get to the venue. Like we're supposed to be there at 3, but let's get there at like 1:30. So we're making sure what I mean. And I'm like, no, I want to go have coffee. There's an outlet mall. There's a park. You know what I mean? There's always all these things that I want to do, and it just never happens. But it's okay.
Or everybody like tells me they want to do something, and then like I'll plan it out. Like we planned the Friends experience. Like 20 people said they were in to go. Like we thought there was going to be like way too many, and it ended up being me and my one other friend.
Yeah.
I mean, we totally like did it up and like had the most fun with it. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like people do not like doing the fun stuff anymore. So I kind of love it that you guys still branch out and do it.
Yeah.
Now, you guys hit up the like amusement parks, and like I know the circuses and stuff are starting now.
So you know what we love to do, which is cool. I would love to do that. What we do as a band, we try to stay in the RV parks. So then we can kind of like wander around and relax a little bit, and we get some of the downtime, because I really love that feel of us, especially if we have like a day off where we can actually be at a campground where there's like, usually there's like animals, like wild animals, or like some kind of, you know what I mean? We can grill, or like one year we were able to go see Adam's family because we had a day off right around where his family is. So it was awesome.
Oh, that's great.
One time we took pictures. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
5-minute pictures.
Yeah, but we always go in. You know what we did that when we were in Pennsylvania in February is where a couple of we had Hannah with us when we did that little run where we went up to Pennsylvania and New Jersey. There was a mall, and it had just like this photo booth thing, and we went through there, and I am never show ready like at noon. And that's just not me. Like I'm usually getting ready like at the show and putting my makeup on. You know what I mean? When we get there. But that morning I was like, oh, I'm just going to put my makeup on and get dressed now. I don't know why. I'm just going to do it. And we walked into the mall, and we had like 30 minutes. And all of a sudden I look over and I'm like, Hannah, we have to get them. We have to take pictures in here. So we went and we walked through. So we drew, and we're like, forget it, guys. There's no time to eat. We've got to take these pictures right now.
Les wasn't
It's
easy.
actually one of the ones that we have
Yeah,
on our
it's one of
page.
those-
It is. It's our
One of
main
those
photo right now.
selfie photo booths where they have like 30 different backgrounds in one little kiosk area. So that's what she found. So we ended up taking like 40, 50 pictures in all these different.
Now, did you find that one up here?
Yes.
Yeah, it was. It wasn't. It was in a
It's
different
the
part
night
of
we did Planet
Pennsylvania.
Trog. It was the night we did that.
Yes, it was the mall by Planet Trog where we played in Pennsylvania, but I don't know what city that was.
Irwin, Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
Right outside Irwin.
there.
I think that's like.
That's cool.
I think that's like an hour from me.
It was cool. It was cool when you see the stand back cover art. That's from there.
Yeah, we got.
Yeah,
you'll see a lot of pictures from there.
Yeah,
actually.
I think our main cover photo. Oh no, is it our cover photo? Our tour flyer. Our tour flyer is from there.
That's from there.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, it was super cool. He wants to be in the interview. No, he doesn't.
So
I got a feisty
getting back to
now.
it. So your lyrics often touch on personal struggles and resilience. What inspires you to write about these themes?
Oh, I mean, my initial reaction to that is because I have learned along the way that if I share my experience, it might give somebody else hope. And just really to promote the healing aspect of it. And just because I've been in so many of these deep, dark places, and I have been through a lot, and I feel really like I'm one of those people that really feels things really deeply. So just having been through that and knowing that a lot of people are really uncomfortable with feeling emotions, that's why. That's my main motivator for doing it. And then it also helps heal me. And then a lot of the times I'll have people that are just, especially even at when we did the Tinman benefit, when we played there, that was so amazing because a couple of people came up to me and they're like, "Wow, that song, our naked song."
Yeah, when you sang and like gave the dedication, like about your mom and everything, like, man, I like looked around and like there were like grown men like tearing up, like it was intense, like.
Yeah, and it's hard. My mom's luckily for me, my mom survived. But in those moments when you think that your person is going to die from cancer, there is something that is so you're so powerless. You know what I mean? And it was it wasn't like, you know what I mean? It's hard. It's just really hard. So yeah, so that's that, and that meant that meant a lot to me to even be asked to play that for the Timmins. So it was a really big deal to me, and it was such a serious thing. And yeah, and so I really try to feel those emotions when I am singing the songs. And the same thing with singing about like Lost My Zen, about singing about anxiety or the frustration of anxiety, and a lot of or delusional about being sober. Because getting sober for me was something that was incredibly difficult because I had to battle all my own demons. And just kind of realize that, the world didn't revolve around me. And then just basically turn around and learn everything else and make everything new. And then going through my second divorce. So for me, those are a lot of critical things where I feel like, people need to know about this stuff. Because a lot of times people will just see me and I'm like, hi!
Yeah, they don't know what you're actually going through.
Yeah, exactly.
I was just saying that to my mom. My mom was going on. She's like, everybody looks so happy on Facebook. Like, everybody's happy. I'm like, Mom,
I assure you they're not.
everybody's not that happy. Like, everybody's still got their problems. They're just maybe not posting about it online.
Yeah. So that's, it's really important to me to be able to share that and to be able to share that with people, because I feel like it just gives people the permission to feel it too. And then for me, holding on to a lot of that, because I was always like, smile, perfect, don't get angry, right? And you don't want
to relate to that.
Right. And and then even studying Buddhism for a little while, I was really trying to push, to get rid of that. But then I wound up like getting sick myself and being really unhappy. And I gained a bunch of weight just because I was always trying to stuff that anger down. And then to be able to let that out with the screams, that is just something that for me, and I really found that when I started listening to, because I didn't talk about all my influences because the ADHD takes over. But I started listening when I started going through that second divorce. I started listening to a lot of Five Finger Death Punch and Hell Yeah and Hellstorm, and those guys really helped me kind of channel it and get it out. So then I was able to get that release. There's that new study. Did you see that psychiatrist study about metal? About how it metal people who listen to metal are actually happier.
Really?
Because you have a channel to get rid of that.
Yeah.
Now, is there anything that you have to do, like specifically, like for your voice, in order to be able to scream and like hold it the way you do?
So I started screaming when I was like 5 years old, playing with Barbies. And I'm not kidding. All right, this is how I found. So I have, I'm hypermobile. So my muscles like stretch and overstretch. So I was a little girl playing with Barbies, and I found this growl, and I thought it was the coolest thing in the world that I could make that sound as a girl, as a little girl. So I always made the Barbies make these screams or whatever, whenever I was doing. So I kind of just did that for a really long time. So I kind of developed the scream. So I practice, but I don't really do anything I don't have any like words of wisdom on how to make
It kind
that
of
happen.
came naturally to you always. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. I
it's
just
been
did it since I was 5.
What?
I've just been screaming since I was 5.
Yeah.
I love it.
But yeah, it does take some practice to be able to hold the screams. So I think, for a long time when I was teaching group fitness, that really helped me to be able to have, a much more lung capacity. So, I walk and I practice a lot of times because sometimes my screams feel a little bit weak. Fluffy!
I think she's gonna take a shit.
Trying to take the hinges off the door.
I know, she's chewing out the door. Like the dog is usually not this bad, but she's being really bad right
Go
now.
potty.
Go potty.
We all have our days.
Yeah, I feel like it's always like there's always an animal that is acting up. Usually a 6 is like licking me, like trying to get to my drink.
Yeah.
We have to lead her outside for treats like fucking ET. To get her food. Go.
Well, I guess this one would kind of be for Brewster, so I'll wait for Brewster first. So I'll wait for him to get back.
Here's a treat.
Oh, there we go.
There's your question, Bruce.
So, how do you approach the songwriting process?
Oh,
You and as a band.
okay. So I have a DAW. I use Studio One Personas. And this is recent that I've been doing this because when I was in my older band back in 03, it would be like the band would get together, you play this, and it was just fighting and confusion, and the guitars are louder than the other guitar player, and he's playing this, and the bass player, the drummer's back there going digga 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 digga, and the singer's like and you're all on a microphone, loud as shit, and it's just like complete chaos. So the way that I write music is I go in there on the DAW, and I have all AI instruments, drums, guitars, bass, everything except vocals. And I'll write the whole song. It'll never turn out like I write it though, because we have a producer. So
Who is like our silent member.
Yeah, he's our silent member, and he's super good, super young and amazing. And it took a lot for me to let him have my music. Like the first time I went in the studio, I was adamant, like this needs to be this. Then I went in with one song, and he played with it. And after that, I just started letting go more and more and more and more. So yeah, I mean, that's basically how I do. I build the whole song. She listens to it because I'm blaring it in there. When I'm writing, I don't leave the computer room. She has to tell me to come to get off of the computer with my headphones on, and I'm to be like, huh? What's going on? Like, and I just go into a rabbit hole of music. Sometimes songs will blend together, and I just have to stop sometimes because I will keep going, like, because it is the best drug on earth. Music is the best thing on earth for anybody that's a musician.
I agree.
But as far as writing goes, I write, and when I write, I try to think of what emotion it's going to portray. So I have to discuss things with her while I'm writing and be like, what are we writing the song about? And then I'll try to actually, you can feel, if you listen to Naked Alone in the Tub, you can feel it. You can really listen to it. You can see how the song is sad all the way to the end. But I put one single solo in it that brought hope into the song. And if you listen to it very closely, at the end of the song, it just becomes like you can hear the whole song just lights up. And that's how I try to write. It's almost like a movie going on in my head. when I'm writing songs. Like it is at night when I go to bed, it's like an orchestra falls into a pit because they have to stop. Because it's like dun, dun, dun. They wind down. And sometimes, when I'm really writing, I don't get to sleep. I'll get up at 5:30 in the morning and be down on the headphones again. So it's a pretty crazy process, I guess.
Or how do you deal with each other when you guys like disagree on anything?
Good question.
So it is so fun. Like I can't even imagine being Adam. Look at him, he's hiding.
He's hiding. That's great.
We argue. It is so funny that you asked that because like over the last 3 days when we've been together, because whenever we're on the way to a show, I warm up to our set and I will sing it all the way there. And I'm like, I'm sorry guys, we have to listen to our music like the whole way there and I'll play the set. And as we were listening to it, for some reason yesterday, I was like, oh my God, remember us arguing about this and these lyrics? Because we just always, like he'll have his idea and I'll have my idea. And I usually win. Because no, because here's the thing. I'm the one who's singing the song. I'm the one who's singing the song, right?
What'd you say? I said fuck you. I was like, are you sure that's what you want to sing there?
Oh, he was so mad.
And she was like, yep, absolutely. I want to say fuck you.
Have you heard Pawns? Have you heard us on Pawns? Did we play that at Mechanicsburg? Did we play that at Love Drafts? Okay, so Pawns, I wasn't sure if we played it. So the whole bridge, I don't know if you've heard it, Jesse, is what'd you say? I said fuck you, and I was like so angry because we wrote it about it during the pandemic, and he's like, I have this beautiful song, and this is never going to make it to the radio.
Actually, I don't think. No, that wasn't the one that you sang there.
Oh, no,
I heard that one on your
Seriously.
social media.
Okay, yeah. So Stress is the other one.
Stress.
He's like, can we just like stop having our choruses just be F-bombs? Like, can that happen? Can we just like one song? So and what's amazing about these last 5 songs that we did in the studio, I don't say fuck one time. Not once.
I'm gonna be honest, Stress is one of my favorites. Like,
a lot of people love it.
That gets me so hype. Like, it just came on in the car the other day. My friends got it on our like driving playlist, and we're both like, yeah, we're ready. We were going bowling. We're like, we're ready to bowl.
It's the easiest.
See, and that's what it's supposed to be fun. So we disagree. I guess kind of like circling back to the question is we will disagree a lot. But when he writes, he will have an emotion, but sometimes I feel something different. And I'll be like, well, no, I really want this song to be about this. Like this song is about stress and like relieving stress and like, fuck it. Like just fuck it, because I hate stress. And I just feel like we need less of that in our lives, even though I'm probably one of the most stressed out people in the world.
40,000.
Oh, did we have 40,000
Right now.
We had 40,000 listeners on Spotify. That's so
Yay!
Awesome.
That's so exciting.
Congrats.
That 236,000 was streamed.
So we hit the Discover Weekly, like the algorithm with Spotify, so they just randomly push it out. So we got so lucky. So that's exciting.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's so exciting.
That's so cool.
And which song was that hit?
Stress is the one that has done like Repeat's doing really, really well, but Stress has also done really, really well. Like Stress is almost at 250,000 streams. And for us, as an independent, is it
236,000 right now?
no 250,000, 250.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, still.
No, stop it.
With Apple
With
Music,
everything else, yeah, we are.
with everything else, yeah, it's over 250,000 because we still have.
That's so amazing, and that's something to be really, really proud of.
Yeah. It's like super exciting, right, Fluffy? But so the writing process, it's fun. It is fun. But and then sometimes, like the way we wrote Stress is, I woke up with that chorus in the middle of the night, and I just was shoving him. I don't know if you heard that story about how we wrote Stress because we had the fuck it hats, and everybody loved the fuck it hats, and I was like, Bruce, I got it. Everybody needs to fuck it. Like it was like 3:00 in the morning. I woke him up, and like an hour later, he was downstairs playing with like guitar riffs, trying to write to Everybody Needs a Little Bit of Fuck It.
Oh, I'm so glad you did that.
Yeah, and then Rainbow was one. Rainbow is another one that's really, really emotional. So you go from
That's
like something like
beautiful.
Stress, and then you go to something like Rainbow, which was about Tommy Boy, our puppy. And that one, I don't think we actually really argued about that song.
It's about the Rainbow Bridge and like her
Yeah.
puppy passing, and it's like a really beautiful, touching song about.
Yeah,
We
and
just recently started playing it live.
yeah, we just started playing it live. Like we just we played it live for the first time May 20th. All right, it was actually the second time we played it because we played it last year August, but the second time we played it was May 20th. But now we've added it into our set, so we're playing it. And it's one of those ones where it just kind of gives everybody permission, to feel this is the emotion we're going into right now. And then we have our road rage song. So
You try to like keep them like a real emotional song and then like a real hype song.
yeah. I have like, so the way we do our set is our main thing is that we shift energy because we want people to, feel better after having watched the set and to kind of like take them through the course of emotions. So we kind of start with Delusional and the fight, and then, go right into Lost My Zen about anxiety. And then into Repeat, which is like such an empowering song, like whatever. And then kind of go through like Warning, where you're learning about yourself and you're just kind of like, oh my God, what am I doing? But you know what? I'm perfect in my imperfections. And then rolling into Rainbow, and then picking it back up with like GTFO and Stress, and then doing our cover You Want to Know. So yeah, it's all about the journey. And
have you heard that they have a musical, Jagged Little Pill?
Yes, I want to go to that so bad.
I just went to Beetlejuice and I saw it on one of the boards and I was like, oh, that would be a good one too.
How was Beetlejuice? Was that amazing?
Oh,
I've heard nothing but the best.
it was so incredible.
Everybody's saying it's amazing.
This was my Christmas present from my best friend who surprised the shit out of me. And I had no idea. Like, I was so upset. I was like, I missed it. Like, I'm never going to see it, blah, blah, blah. And he surprised me and got us like really, really amazing seats. And it was just phenomenal. Like, absolutely phenomenal.
That is awesome. That is, I guess there's a Beetlejuice too.
Yeah, the Beetlejuice.
Saw something about that. Yeah.
Yeah, Michael Keaton, I believe, just signed on.
Yeah, and Jenna Ortega.
Mm-hmm.
I love her.
A true scream queen.
I know. I'm like really excited because Wednesday too, they're doing like the second run of that. There's a lot with her. Even with Scream, the newest Scream.
I know.
I've watched that quite a few times.
I love that movie. I love that movie so much.
Yeah, she doesn't go to horror movies, but she loves that.
I love the Scream series. That's like one of my favorites because they're funny.
They're very meta because it's a horror movie about horror movies, so it's like very entertaining. They can do so much with it.
I
was saying that the other day. Like, I really like. I can always like rely on Scream. That's gonna be good.
I love horror movies, and nobody watches it. Well, nobody watches it with me. I love them.
I love them. Yeah.
Terrifier 2 was fucking awesome.
We love Terrifier.
He was just at the horror con in New Jersey.
Was he really?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that guy's so creepy. I love it.
The line was like ridiculous.
I believe it.
Him. I was like,
they're making a third one? Just got announced.
I believe so.
They're great. I don't care how cheesy they are. They're amazing.
They're amazing.
Wait till you see our new video. Talk about cheese.
Oh yeah, because we're releasing the new video, so it should be out. Yeah, we're releasing the new video, and that should be out.
That was my idea. I was like, I want it cheesy as possible.
Well, we all did. That was No, we wanted it to be cheesy, but it was all his brainchild of like figuring out how to shoot the video, which was amazing. And it's really fun. Wait till you see it. It's really, really, really fun.
Yeah, you can talk about it Wednesday. The show will air, so if you want to talk
so it's released then yesterday, technically, if today's Wednesday.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. So you can give us a little bit about it.
Exclusive.
Yeah, the exclusive about GTFO.
Airplane. Remember the movie Airplane?
So what's the story
The
behind?
iconic movie.
No, what's
Leslie Nielsen.
Leslie Nielsen?
Yeah.
Where they're driving in the car,
Yeah.
driving in the fake car.
Yeah.
With the screen.
We have one of those.
In the-
We got one of those.
So that's what this
With
video
the screen behind us, like you got to pay attention to the background because there's stuff going on. You'll see.
That's hilarious.
Like we made the car look cheesy. So it's gonna be
I
cool.
love that you guys make everybody watch until the end. Like you never know when you're gonna throw something in there.
Yeah, this is good
Well,
stuff.
because you're talking about stress in general. Like all of a sudden you get to the middle, and then all of a sudden Fluffy's on the drums. It's like, what? Why did they do that? Why did they put the dog on the drums?
Because I want her in the videos. She's cute.
That's so funny.
I get it. If I had any musical talent, like Six would definitely be in my videos. But the most I've ever done is at a house party, like played the triangles. I'm pretty like good with the triangles for a bit. But
Yeah,
so
the dinner
have
party.
there been any memorable or challenging moments during your performances that really stand out to you?
Go ahead, tell them. Just do it.
Which one?
The blowout.
What blowout?
The blowout when we were on tour.
Oh, that was challenging.
Oh.
I don't know if you want to or not. It's up to you.
What, Michael Jackson?
No. We were on tour with every
The blowout.
The blowout. The flat tire.
Okay, so I wasn't really prepared to talk about this. But in August, because we have a saying in the band. Let's do it all together.
All right.
Ready? Because
Bruce.
So we like to have a really good time. And yeah. So on August 11th in 2021, we played, August 10th, we played in Iowa. And the next morning, we were in some Walmart parking lot or some mall parking lot or wherever we were. And I went into the store and I went to get dressed. And I noticed that I looked down that one of my boobs was not the same size as the other one. And I was like, oh no, what happened? You know, and one of my implants had deflated. And this is no joke. Like while we were on tour, August 11th, we are in Iowa or India. I don't even know.
What did you do?
I started calling plastic surgeons.
Tour.
I finished the tour. Like nobody knows this. Like I haven't told the story on TikTok yet. Nothing. This has been like, and I have videos of me with like one thing so that you can actually see it, but I have not posted them. They are sitting in the drafts because I have like not had the courage to actually talk about this yet. But I am.
Thank you so much for picking us to talk to about it.
Get all the good stuff.
That's insane.
Yeah, so it was terrifying. So like I'm there and like my heart is pounding. I'm like, oh my God, like am I gonna get sick? Like I don't know about what happens like when one of your implants freaking implodes. Like what happens? So I'm Googling stuff, and meanwhile Bruce has like major anxiety. So I'm like, I think I told you.
Yeah.
I'm like, don't, and I'm like, Les, I need you. And I'm like, don't tell Bruce. I'm like, don't tell Bruce, but I'm calling plastic surgeons right now. One of my implants imploded. I need you to keep him focused. I gotta go. I gotta get out of here. I gotta make some calls because I had to like do some research. Because Bruce is always like, hey babe, hey babe, hey babe, hey babe. And I was like, I gotta focus right now. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do. So I ran into the Walmart, pretended I was shopping. Meanwhile, I am looking at plastic surgeons and I have called every single plastic surgeon in Virginia Beach trying to get an appointment for when I get home because it was August 11th and we were coming home on the 15th. Mm-hmm. Nobody would see me. Nobody could get me in except for Dr. Arsalan. He was able to get me in because he had just moved here from California. And he was going to Virginia.
Did you feel all right? Like other than like being panicked about the.
So the night before and we were out with Cultus Black and Head PE, and we were like, we love Cultus Black, we love those guys. And that night before, we were playing at this barbecue joint, and we were in Iowa.
That's right.
So I drank 4 bottles of water, and I blew my voice out that night. So this there's like a lot of history here. Look, this is a long story. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
So I blew my voice out that night singing You Ought to Know, even though I had drank 4 bottles of water and my normal ginger water. And I was like, what the hell happened that I was so dry? Well, what the hell happened was I had 300 cc's of saline in my body that my body was trying to flush through. I didn't know what was going on, but I had drank 4 bottles of water in like, no jumping, in like 4 hours. So, and I was still super, super, super thirsty. So then the next morning I figured out what happened and I was like, no way. So then the rest of the tour, I really struggled singing You Ought to Know. We had Blue Ridge Rock Fest that year, 3 weeks later, and I had surgery 10 days before Blue Ridge Rock Festival. So he made the appointment. I got in for the consult like at the end of August, and then I went in for my pre-surgery, and he did the surgery. I think I want to say it was like August 26th and September 7th or September 9th. I think I was on stage, or maybe it was the 11th. I don't know what the date was that we performed. Maybe it was September 12th. But I was on stage like literally 10 days or 11 days after my surgery, having the reconstruction done. Wow. Crazy. Yeah, crazy. But I had blown my voice out. So at Blue Ridge, the struggle was real for me because I didn't have my normal strength because I was so dehydrated that night in Iowa that it took me, I want to say 6 more months to like repair that damage that I had done from being so dry that night. And then just kind of, and also being exhausted from being on tour and everything else. But yeah, that was crazy. That's a blowout. So that's the craziest thing that's ever happened. But that actually wasn't during a show. But we were on tour, but it was happening during the show.
I know you weren't prepared to talk about that, but I'm so glad that you did because it does happen to people. Yep. And I'm telling you, I wouldn't even know what to do. I would. And the fact that you still continue, how many shows did you have to get through?
4.
Because we had Thursday night in Chicago, which my sister was coming to. So we had Thursday night in Chicago, Friday night somewhere. I think we actually Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then Wednesday in Virginia Beach, our home show.
Not to mention that show after Iowa was all the way back in Ohio. Then we had to come back all the way to Belvedere, Wisconsin, and then back
Saginaw.
Yeah,
Saginaw. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it was a lot. It was crazy. But yeah, that was a lot. That was a lot. But I wanted to talk about what is the craziest thing that's happened on stage.
Oh, yeah. What is the craziest thing that happened on stage?
Oh,
I don't really know. Does anything crazy happen on stage?
Everything always happens on stage. You know what I mean? Like you go on and like his guitars go out, my in-ears go out. I don't know how many times I have lost. Like for some reason we had all these issues where my in-ears would just completely go down.
I break cymbals.
He breaks cymbals like crazy.
Have you ever just completely forgot the lyrics while you're on stage?
No, but I've forgotten guitar lines.
Yep.
He has.
There's parts where I'll break down to like an acoustic, like a Chris Daughtry kind of field, whatever. I don't really know.
Does the rest of the band just kind of keep going as if he played it and just keep going?
One show I actually stopped.
Yes.
Said, God damn it. And I said, hold on. And I stopped and I started over again from that part. And we just kept going into the song. So I actually stopped. Instead of trying to flub it all together, I just kind of took my fingers, went, and then cussed at the guitar, took a breath, and then started the riff over with, and then we just ended the song. So it was crazy.
So what was your weirdest encounter with a fan?
I don't think we really had that many weird ones with fans.
No.
We've been really lucky.
Really?
Yeah.
Like all our fans are like super cool.
Suzanne gets a kick out of it when old ladies corner me. It's pretty funny. She's like, you having fun? No. Yes.
Does she like instigate them to like
Absolutely.
corner you even more?
She doesn't say she does, but she does.
I don't have that kind of power.
Right.
I don't have that kind of power.
Dude, they flock around her at the merch table. It's crazy.
That's because I love people.
Yeah.
I I genuinely love people.
You can tell. You can definitely tell. Like you were all over the crowd, like a little like social butterfly, like talking to everybody. Everybody was just kind of like coming right over to your booth, like
Yeah, if you're not approachable, man, like it just, you know,
Yeah,
like, you wouldn't just go up to Maynard. You know, I would go right up to Maynard, but
he's Maynard.
he's Maynard. You don't know if he's approachable because he's Maynard. I wouldn't. I'd be like, hey. But we try to make it so we are approachable, you know what I'm saying? So people will come up and talk to us. I
I
love
feel like I approach people a lot more since the pandemic. Like now I'm just at the point I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna give it a shot. Like we'll see what happens. Like what's the worst they can say? Like get away from me.
Right.
Where's your mask?
I was just gonna say, where's your mask? It's 6 feet. 6 feet.
What a pain in the ass. Then I had to find my wallet, my keys, and my mask when that was out. So there was like 3 things I had to find. It was awful.
Yeah,
I know.
I'm a body
With
here.
the fire, everybody started bringing the masks back, and I'm like, oh man, this again.
I know the smog.
We're doing this again.
Yeah, it reached all the way down here.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Yes, and it was bad. Like I couldn't have Fluffy out for her walk. Bad.
Wow.
Yeah, it was
Like you would walk outside the house and you were like, oh,
I was talking about you.
It was gnarly.
It definitely looked like a Stephen King novel outside.
It looked
of my house.
insane. It was actually really cool looking. I wish it wasn't horrible for the environment.
Right.
But yeah, no, the haze was kind of like, ooh, it looks like a movie.
It was like, oh, okay, scenic ambiance. It smells like horrible.
Yeah,
and
looking at pictures from New York, it looked like Silent Hill.
Yeah,
We were in red, and like right up the street, like maybe like 15, 20 minutes, they were in maroon. I didn't even know there was a maroon.
Whoa,
Yeah.
I didn't either. That's scary.
Like one of my friends, she's like, we couldn't even see in front of, like you couldn't even see
wow.
like a foot in front of you. It was so
Oh.
bad.
Crazy. Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Maroon.
I thought it would be months. I was like, oh, here we go with something else.
What?
I know, right? It's never ending.
Yeah,
So here's a good one. How do you see Magg Dylan's music evolving and growing in the future?
It's gonna be a series of dog barks. Heavy guitar.
Well, the thing we do is, like, we listen to a lot of music. So it's like, especially like with Bruce and I, it's like, we listen to a lot of metalcore, like the Sleep Token and, you know, kind of off-name bands also, and they kind of inspire us. But I mean, even just like,
I try to keep up with the Joneses.
What was your last add to your playlist?
What's that?
What was your last add to your playlist?
Sleep Token, actually.
mine is actually the new Saul album coming out. They just released another singer, but I'm really good friends with the drummer Miles. So it's like, he was like, dude, so we keep in contact. He's like, hey, the new single's coming out. So I'm already like, add. So Saul was my actually last one because the new CD comes out actually later this month.
So as far as a woman-fronted band in the rock genre, have you faced any particular challenges or triumphs in the music industry?
I guess we don't really know. You know what I mean? Because we,
How do we answer
I mean,
that?
isn't the one coming up, isn't that like for female-fronted?
what?
Isn't the one that you're Backwoods, I believe? Isn't that for the female-fronted bands?
No, it's both of us, both John. It's men and women.
Oh, really?
So, and a lot of times we have done a lot of playing with a lot. Like our first tour, we went out with Head PE. You know what I mean? And we haven't always opened for a lot of female bands. We've started to open for a lot more female-fronted bands. Sorry, she jumped and fell. But you know, and it's really fun to open for the female-fronted bands. I don't know. She's freaking out.
No one's paying attention to her.
Right,
It's
exactly.
ridiculous.
But I know she's so spoiled. This dog is so spoiled, and it's my fault. But it's okay. You know, her spinal cord's malformed, so she's been really coddled. But you know, it is what it is. Come here. Come here. I'm gonna put it right here, and then maybe she'll be okay. But so I don't really feel like we've had that many challenges as a female fronted band. I feel like it's more. I don't really know how to answer that because I just think we have challenges because we're independent.
Well, she also said triumphs.
Oh, triumphs!
For me,
Yeah, challenges or triumphs.
For me personally, I originally moved from Illinois, been in a bunch of bands, worked for a bunch of bands, and then I moved to California in 2019. And then these guys, I toured with them. I was actually working for Head P at the time, and it was their very first tour. So I kind of took them underneath my wing and kind of like, you know, as like, hey, this is the ropes here and there. So that helped them out. Even forced Bruce to think that he lost a guitar and had it stolen.
I didn't know what a guitar boat was. I was like, I've never used one of those.
We had a
freaking out?
I turned around and his guitars were just laying on the ground on top of his cases. I'm like, these are going to get stepped on. These things are going to get broke or whatnot. So I ended up grabbing his guitars and actually putting him in my guitar boat. And so,
where the fuck did my guitar? My guitars stole my guitars. Oh my god, my guitars are gone. I was like, no, I put it in my boat. All right.
But we kept in touch, and they gave me a call summer of 2020, and we're like, hey, it's like, we got 3 shows in Texas. Our current drummer can't do it right now. I was like, yeah, I'll be more than happy to fill in. Not to mention, at the time, I actually just had surgery on my left ankle a month before when we were supposed to have our shows.
That was so challenging.
Yeah, there was a challenge. So literally the day before I was supposed to fly out and meet with them, I had them rip off the cast. So like doctor appointment the day before, and then I was on a 6 a.m. flight. Was it 6 a.m., 5 a.m. flight to Virginia the next day? And then we went through the whole week and weekend, and they asked me if I wanted to be a part of the band. I was like, hell yeah. You know, I really have nothing tying me down in California. So I live with Bruce and Suzanne, and it's been game on ever since. But as far as for a triumph for me is seeing the messages and people from back home. They're like, you are kicking ass. It's just the constant reassurance. It's like, you are with your band now. We've seen you with this band before. We've seen you doing this other thing or whatnot, but you're now, we can see that you are where you want to be.
Those are your people.
Right.
So what role would you say that social media plays in connecting you with your fans and building your community?
Everything.
Absolutely.
I mean, yeah. I was in a band that didn't have social media. And
also, which ones do you lean towards as far as like, I know sometimes I'm in a TikTok mood. Sometimes I just want to post on Instagram.
So, I don't know. That's her.
Yeah, I do a lot of the social media stuff. So a lot of the times I post on Insta because it goes to Facebook. Mm-hmm. And then I try to make sure that I'm going to have time to be able to respond to people because I feel like that's super important when people are commenting that we are replying to them or at least acknowledging the comments. But yeah, I would say I lean probably more towards Insta because it goes to Facebook. And we also do TikTok. So we're not as consistent with TikTok. I know that that's like the game changer. It's supposed to be. And of course we put all our videos on YouTube. We love YouTube. But yeah, I would say probably Insta is the first one and then TikTok and then probably Facebook, even though we have the most followers on Facebook, but.
So how has the band navigated the changing landscapes of the music industry, especially in terms of digital platforms and streaming services?
Yeah, singles. We don't release albums anymore. We just do singles. And I love doing it that way because it makes sure that everybody actually gets to listen to every song that we put out because so many people miss so many of the songs that we have on Amethyst because we released Amethyst 3 weeks before the pandemic.
Now, are you guys kind of on a schedule? I'm kind of noticing with the bands that like Jesse and I talked to, that they're kind of on a schedule with their releasing of the singles if
Yep.
they're going that way.
We're trying to do one every other month, like about every 8 weeks. And so our next one, that's why, but we really wanted to get GTFO out there before Memorial Day weekend because it's such a great driving song. So we really wanted it out there before Memorial Day weekend and July 4th before school gets out so that people could listen to that, you know, because like, I don't know if Jesse, if you've heard it, but it's just the left lanes for passing is the main chorus because, and that's in the video, you'll see me in a straitjacket. Because that's what I feel like sometimes and I do most of the driving for the band.
Yeah.
So that's like literally like a lot of these things are just words that were always coming out of my mouth because I'm like, okay, the left lanes for passing. This is not that hard. The gas pedal is on the right. Especially, you know, so anyway, I'm sorry. I always go off into my little tangents.
No,
You know,
I
the
love
challenging thing is about the most challenging part of singles for me is you have to think ahead of the box. You've got to because we've got a song that's not going to release probably till maybe January, February that we wrote and recorded back in whatever it was.
We were there in April.
Yeah, so you have to actually think, is it going to be good then? Because man, the whole music scene could change.
Ring camera.
The whole music scene, the whole music scene could change on you. You know, you don't even know. The next good band could come out then that could have a whole new sound. You don't even know where the music industry is going right now. So writing singles, it's a gamble. You got to really think ahead. And that's the.
So are you guys thinking that GFO is your summer jam? Like, is that the one that we need to like have blaring with the tops down, driving fast?
I feel like either GTFO, I mean, Stand Back is probably going to be another one because Stand Back is such an empowering song. And Repeat's kind of the same way. So, yeah, so those are the three big summer singles. Yeah, we really felt like all three of them were kind of like, but GTFO is like the main, like, traffic jam, yes. It's kind of like the stress. You know what I mean? It's kind of like fun. And then all of a sudden it's like,
So is there anybody that you're looking to collab with? Or maybe even like put on a show with that you haven't performed with?
Scene Queen.
Nice.
Oh wow, okay.
All right. So our producer, his colleague that he that they're both managed by, he produces Scene Queen. And I didn't know that. So we wrote Stress and we wrote GTFO and we wrote GTFO in like 2 hours. Like we went in there and we recorded it. I mean, I shouldn't even say wrote it. Went in there and recorded the whole thing in 2 hours, or the vocals, I should say. And that's really quick to do vocals. But we just kind of went with what the natural vibe was. And he said that that's really what Scene Queen does. Is she's just going in there to have fun, and it's just an honest thing. So that is somebody that I would love to see on a feature on one of our songs because I love some Scene Queen.
Poppy. We're Poppy.
I'm Poppy.
I love Poppy. It's Poppy.
I know, me too.
Pretty great. Yeah.
This is my church outfit. That's my jam right now.
Yes.
Now, does everybody feel that way, or is there anybody else that you guys?
I would love her to do something with I Prevail. Sing from I Prevail.
That'd be awesome.
Like any kind of collab with him would be great. Or Bad Omens.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I can
love
see that
Omens
too.
So that would be cool. I would say that. I would love her to do something with a male artist, female male artist. Be good.
So as far as the song that's being released, where do our viewers go to find it? Like, we'll have it obviously on our social media, but where can they go if they come across the show and they want to find it right now?
There's a Spotify pre-save link that we're going to put in our IG bio, and it'll be on our socials everywhere. We'll be sharing it. So it'll be up there with all the links. And then it'll have that Spotify pre-save for Stand Back.
Now, how do you balance the demands of being musicians with the other aspects of your everyday lives?
Woohoo! Question.
You all look down.
I work a lot.
Suzanne was the only one that stayed up. Everybody else looked down.
Yeah, I work a lot.
I'll be going to work as soon as we leave. Back to work.
Yeah, he's going back to work.
I work a lot.
Yeah, he
She
works
works her ass off too.
Yeah, and I do a
all
lot. Yeah, we all do. We all work in different aspects. I'm the one who's usually pushing the business side. You know what I mean? Like I'm doing a lot of the social media, and then Adam helps me with putting stuff on bands in town. But I'm usually the one who's like coordinating all the schedules of the releases and uploading them and making sure that we have merch because we have a new merch drop coming. You know, our GTFO shirts for the GTFO video and all that type of stuff. So just hi. It's
And
me.
where
I'm the problem. It's me.
now, do you know when your merch is dropping?
Tomorrow. Actually, yesterday.
So
the
the merch is available, and is that on your website?
Yes, it will be on our website, and it will be on Shopify, which I love because that's also you can find it on if you're on Spotify. So if you listen to us on Spotify, you can click that Shopify link and it's out on Shopify as well. And I have to get it. And then that's the one thing, like I'm slacking, right? I haven't got it on Instagram because, you know, it's just hard to work a full-time job and do this also.
Yeah.
Now, did you guys submit to DW Presents?
For Space Zebra for this Thursday?
Yeah.
We haven't yet. We're still talking about it. It's so when I don't know if you know, we lost in December and we lost by 1 vote and it had flipped green for us. We won and then it changed to us losing. And we had we had a listening party, like an in-person Christmas listening party, holiday party. And there was I want to say 25 of us there. And we were all so excited. And then when we lost and we watched everybody's heart get broken, that was hard. And so that's where we're just kind of, I don't know that we want to go through that again because it's hard. You know what I mean? It's
yeah.
We love Space Zebra. We love the show. We love the bands that are in and doing all the stuff. But, you know, sometimes when you submit, your song doesn't even get played and that hurts a little bit too. So it's hard.
Yeah.
I mean, just being 100% transparent and honest.
Yeah, I just got into it. I just started. I'm not that great on Twitch, so
yeah,
I've been kind of learning. And this was the first full one that I had watched all the way through, and definitely interesting.
You know, and I vote great for every band on there, and I don't feel that that's even. Sometimes, I don't know. I feel like there's a little bit of something. I don't know.
I definitely
can
agree with that.
I can agree with that too.
There's the fans that show the love, and there's also people that it's kind of like the people that go into Walmart and buy up all the Legos and wait for them to retire, and then they sell them.
You got a roommate laughing. He's laughing. It's true. I mean. But it is, it's competitive. Music is competitive. And you just have to accept that. But, you know, at the same time, I hate looking at the faces of people that show up and put their time into us and then just get straight disappointed. I don't want to do that. I feel like we could put our energy somewhere else.
Yeah, that was hard. It was, we were so happy to have won. But that was with the charts that we got our spot on with Louder Than Life. So it wasn't really in the brackets. And then, you know, we did really well in the brackets both times, but it was that was hard. That was a real heartbreaker for us. So
how was it to play Blue Ridge?
Oh, Blue Ridge was amazing. So was Louder Than Life, both of them. I mean, they were such amazing experiences. It was so great. And Blue Ridge, we had such a prime slot. We played at 2:00 in the afternoon in between Pop Evil and Starset. So
that's a
yeah, I mean, it was Sunday. It was 2:00 in the afternoon. Or is it 3:00 in the afternoon? I think it might have been 3:00 in the afternoon. It was amazing. It was, and people just kept coming. So by the time we were done, our set was ending, there was people, if you look at, I think we had our profile picture showing how many people we had out there. I mean, it was unbelievable.
That's how it happened the second year we played too.
It looked like we were on the main
We
stage.
played the second
Yes.
year at Blue Ridge, and it was a little smaller, but we played right before Unearthed, and man, the crowd just was like, "Tch," and
They
you
just kept walking down the
watched
hill.
them pile in, like it was crazy. That was it.
That's
That was
so
our
fun.
first festival, I believe, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was our first festival we ever played. Was Blue Ridge 18, 19?
Yeah, and actually, it was really coincidental because me and Suzanne actually shared the same exact birthday.
Yeah.
And so the year that I was there with Nonpoint, they were on stage just a couple bands before us on our birthday, and that's actually
The first time we met.
Yeah.
the first time we've met. At the time, the day before, it rained really bad that Jonathan Davis couldn't perform that night because he couldn't get his tour bus in. So when we rolled in the next day, the ground was still muddy as heck, and we had to park in the gravel. So we had to take trucks or golf carts or something trying to get all of our equipment down. Bruce was actually helping me
I see
get.
this poor kid pushing this giant drum thing. Hey, somebody help! For God's sake.
The drum case stands about 6 foot tall, fits all the hardware and everything in it. I'm just pulling it along this grass and mud and everything. And
It was surprising because I said, "You need some help?" And usually, no, I got it. He was like, "Yeah, that would be great." So yeah, that was funny.
and then 3 years later, I'm in the band.
So yeah, that's how it works, I guess.
And we played Blue Ridge
And we played Blue Ridge.
3 years later, 3 years apart.
That's amazing. Now, as far as festivals, the tours, that's mixed in with other shows, right? How many are festivals? Would that be Backwoods?
Three. FemFest. Yeah, we have FemFest, Rockfest, and then
Summer Bash.
Oh, I forgot about that.
And FemFest is we're headlining that one. 2 stages, all female fronted. Literally every band is all female fronted.
That's so cool. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I know.
Now, I
And
have to
it's
ask,
cool to
do you
be.
prefer to play the venues or the festivals? Like the show venues or?
That's a hard question because they're both so fun. And a lot of the venues are really intimate, but the festivals are huge and humongous. So like, they're both awesome because you just get to meet so many people. Back to the
You get nervous? You get nervous with the big festivals?
Yeah. Depends on the time of the year. That would be my answer. During the winter, when it's cold outside, yeah, you definitely want to be indoors. But festivals, I love being outside. I'd rather be on an outside stage anytime.
I love that answer. It depends on the weather.
It really depends. Yeah, if it's raining, I would rather be inside. That's for sure.
Sure.
Because we played outside when it was freezing before. And I'm talking breath freezing. She had like a super spin doctor's beanie on or some shit. I mean, we were like decked out in gear.
Has the place ever lost power while you were performing?
Kind of. Some sound guys think they have enough energy to push the band. And we have a lot of, when we do our drops, they hit really hard. And it's been, I can count on my fingers like three times that the power is just, we've blown like a something where the subs don't work. Because we have like 2 speakers working, and then I'll see a guy over there trying to put it back together, and then it'll come back on. So, and that just recently happened to us at a festival style stage. Like the guy lost all of the subs. So yeah, never power though, never full power.
I bet that guy was scrambling.
Dude, they do. They get on stage and they scramble. It's panicking, man. When you're on stage and something happens, a minute feels like hours. Like, I mean, it is crazy. You get up there and you panic. I am the king of panic. I panic about everything.
Trauma gave him that name, the drummer from Head PE.
Yeah, he calls me panic. I mean, God, the computer's not working. Holy shit.
That's a new song. There you go. Panic.
What?
Got your next.
That'll probably be the name of one of our next songs.
I
I'll say we got stress.
learned about all that from the first show.
Yeah.
So I know that this is your rehearsal night, so I'm gonna try and wrap this up a little bit. But let's go over again real quick your social media. Do you want to throw out?
I will try.
throw out some of
Instagram. Yes, no, follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and then of course YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, Deezer. What did I miss?
Pandora.
Pandora. That's the main one. Pandora. Yeah, Pandora's huge.
basically anywhere you can stream music.
Yeah.
Yes, anywhere you can stream music, everywhere.
And if you're in the bar, look at your touch tunes. We're on there.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And definitely, all of viewers, make sure that you go on and look up where they're playing because they make the rounds.
Yes.
They'll be playing in a city near you very soon.
All
If you're headed down to South Carolina, or I know a lot of people are headed down to Florida and Outer Banks and different vacation spots now that we're headed into that summer break phase. Make sure that you stop by and check them out. They're playing with Nail Bite and Dying Oath.
No, Nail Bite and The Plan and Sin Stratton and Croatan.
Okay.
One more band.
Yeah, so many fun bands.
Yes. Rotten's mine.
I probably won't be there, but I'm hoping that you guys post lots and lots and lots of videos.
Oh man, I love to do TikToks. I love it. I try to be funny.
It's addicting. I started during the pandemic just so I would be like forced to like do my makeup, do my hair, get up, and actually like do something with myself. And yeah, it gets really addicting.
It's a fun time. It's a fun community.
Now, do you do the dances or like any of the like trending things?
No, but maybe
I try to go with what's trending, and sometimes it's like not really for me.
Not it. Yeah.
You don't want to see me dance. It's bad. She can dance. I can't dance.
I got told I was a terrible dancer the other day and that I have to move the camera around a lot to distract people from my horrible dancing. I was like, make sure you check me out since you're such a fan. Check out the show.
Exactly.
That's bad.
Exactly.
I was like, I love trolls.
All the haters to the right.
Yeah.
All the
Bye.
haters to the right.
Bye.
But everybody, make sure that you check them out. Magg Dylan. Make sure that you like, watch their videos, listen, share, tell a friend. If everybody just told one person about Magg Dylan, just think.
That's how it worked back in the day.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on
Thanks for coming
tonight.
on. Thanks for talking to us, guys.
No, you guys are awesome.
Absolutely
Thank you.
fun on here.
Thank you. Thank you.